Hello! If you are watching this, this is my tips and advice for Duke of Edinburgh expedition. If you are watching this, maybe you're about to do it or you need advice. I've just finished my gold qualifying and I've compiled a bunch of information that I think would be useful for anyone who's about to do their expedition. Since all of the videos on YouTube are very outdated, here is my list of important information for your Duke of Edinburgh expedition. Okay, so first up we have what to expect. So if you know what you have to do on your Duke of Edinburgh, that's great. I think a lot of people kind of don't really realise that it is 4 days of hiking and 3 nights of camping. So you are going to be hiking and camping. So just remember that, okay? Because some people seem to think it's a breeze, but it is very hard, and props to anyone who's completed it. Like, it's not easy. It's not easy. I had 2 people who quit after the first day in my group because it was just very, very difficult. But it also boils down a lot to what weather you're experiencing when you're doing your expedition. So just to reiterate, mentally prepare yourself is the step 1 advice for what you're about to entail. Okay, the next section is clothes. So clothes are very important on your Duke of Edinburgh, but it's also really important that you plan. On my silver expedition, I underpacked, so I didn't have enough socks. It was very miserable. I had like 1 shirt and I just reused, I stunk at the end. So make sure you plan what you pack. It's also not good to overpack, obviously, and then you're carrying a bunch of like extra weight that you don't need. I put this list here so you can see everything that I packed. Things I would recommend for hot and cold weather. I would recommend leggings because they will be good thermals at night if you get cold. If you don't really like the fit and also the look of hiking trousers or cargos, they're still really cute and appropriate to wear when hiking. Long sleeve tops can be used in hot and cold because in hot weather you can wear a white long sleeve for example, and that will protect your arms from sunburn while also keeping you cool. And obviously in cold weather you're gonna be really cold, so you're gonna want to have layers. I would also recommend bringing lots and lots of socks because if your socks get wet, womp womp, you're gonna need a new pair of socks. With shorts, I didn't have any hiking shorts. I was looking everywhere, I just had none. So what I did, very lastminute.com, was I literally just bought men's swim shorts from Sainsbury's because they are basically the same hiking shorts. As long as you are comfortable, that's all that matters. Comfortability over fashion is how I took my Duke of Edinburgh trip. As for coats, if you're in the summer, you're not gonna need the DOV coat. I would recommend getting yourself or just finding a lightweight jacket which you can fold up and put in its little pouch, because the Duke of Edinburgh coats they give you are huge and they're really hot, and in the summer you're just not gonna need it. So if you're in the summer, just get a small rain jacket that you can just throw on if it starts raining. Same with the waterproofs. You're not really going to need them, but they will be really useful if you're going up a mountain, it's wet, high humidity, you need to throw on your rain cover. My tip for clothing is that when you're camping, you want to start your day off cold. So leave the campsite without your coat. Leave the campsite, unless it's raining, without your waterproofs. Just start off cold because you will heat up when you're walking. If you are about to leave your campsite and you've got a bunch of layers on because it's cold, you're going to want to take them off 20 minutes later. Another tip I have for clothes as well is to bring packing cubes. You can just organize all of your clothes into the packing cubes and it just keeps everything in your bag way more organized. On my silver I didn't do that and I literally just had clothes everywhere. It was a mess. But on this one it was so much easier to just, like, oh, I've gotten to camp, where's my socks? Pull out your cube, put your socks on, etc. And then it makes it so much easier to pack away your bag every night as well, because you can just shove your cubes in. I'm not sure if I said it before, but when it comes to clothes, don't wear cotton. You probably already know, don't wear cotton because you'll be really sweaty, but just as an example, this is from Primark, but exercise tops, which are this nice stretchy material, they will be very good, and they're just very comfy to wear and very light as well. Flip-flops, So on my silver expedition I didn't bring flip-flops because I just thought like it's so extra, like why am I bringing flip-flops camping, like meh. But if you know what a swimming pool changing room is like, you know, where the floor is all wet and you all have to stand on it, shower on it, it's gonna be yucky, it's gonna be nasty, you know, these are communal showers. So I really honestly would recommend bringing flip-flops. Another thing is hats. This is especially important if it's in the summer. It will keep the sun out your face, it will keep your head cool. It's just good if it rains as well. So I had a cap. The cap was fine, the cap will do. You know, you don't want to go out of your way and buy all this stuff that you're never going to use again. The safari big bucket hats are very useful because they will keep your neck protected as well as your head. Okay, this next one is about your hiking boots. You can wear a whole different range of hiking boots when it comes to your boots. My ones were on sale, which is why I even got them in the first place, but they go up a little bit over your ankle and it just gives you a little bit more ankle support, which is very important. You want to make sure that you do choose good boots because your boots will make or break your trip. Another piece of advice would be to slightly size up a bit because you'd rather have more room in your boots and you can just fill that gap with socks if it's really big than really tight uncomfortable boots. I'm a size 5.5. I got a size 6 boots and they were perfect. They were really good. So you don't want to have tight boots at all. No. Okay, this next section is food. A recommendation I have would be always, you know, eat the heaviest foods first. So if you have a wayfarer meal and it's really heavy, eat that on the first night. If you've got like a packet of noodles, eat that on the last night. I had breakfast bars every single day for my breakfast. And the reasoning behind that was because a breakfast bar is small, portable, and you can get protein breakfast bars which will have like a lot of protein in it. You know, that's always good. And also the main thing with having breakfast bars is you don't need a trangia. If you've done your expedition, you'll know that in the morning it is like a mad dash. Like everyone just wants to pack up their tents and get going. Everyone wants to leave the camp first. So in the morning, having to set up a trangia, cook your breakfast, as well as getting yourself ready, packing your tent away, it's just very long, chaotic, and it will slow your group down. But a breakfast bar over cooking in the morning will save you. Snacks are also very, very important because you may not feel hungry when you're walking, but you do have to remember that your body is hungry. So don't do what I did on my silver. I took it as a sort of opportunity to lose weight, so I tried to diet, but oh my god, the suffering and anguish that it ended up causing because I had like no food. So don't try and starve yourself. Don't do it! It's not worth it! It's better to have food and not need it than need it and not have it. So this is the one time, you know, where your brain might be telling you like, oh, I don't need a lot of food, but don't skimp out on food because it's better to have and not need than need and not have. Some great snack ideas are an apple. So apples are a good source of fiber and water as well. Other snacks that were really nice were little bars, naked bar, that was actually so yum. Dried fruit was okay, you know, wasn't anything to write home about. Like when it comes to dinners, it can be different for every group and group member. So some groups would all share together their dinners. So someone might bring a whole bag of just pasta and someone else would bring like 4 packets of sauce, and then you would divvy it up over the days. That's okay if you like working in your group. But for me, I knew that I wanted to eat what I wanted to eat, and also I'm too lazy to share with other people. How I did it was I went to Lidl and I got like their packs. Getting these packs are good because it's one whole big portion. It's very easy. You just need to add hot water and also it's actually guaranteed to be yummy because a wet food bag will be heavier than a freeze-dried food bag, but if you can bear the weight, then do it because you're going to want to eat something nice after your hike. Okay, this section is about hygiene, which is very important. Some campsites, they might not have showers. Yeah. On my last night, we didn't have showers, so it was very depressing. To combat that, I would recommend just bringing wet wipes. Like, you're only going to be slumming it for like 3 days. And also on your hike, when you're hiking, you might get really sweaty, and having a wet wipe to just is gonna be nice. Following on with the shower theme, I'm gonna be real, you don't need to bring shampoo, conditioner, body wash. I just brought shampoo and I used it as my body wash and shampoo when I had the chance. You really just don't want to bring unnecessary stuff. Okay, for this next section, we're going to be talking about how to actually pack the bag and just the bag in itself. Okay, so I've actually brought my bag out to show you how I packed it. You are gonna have to put your roll mat in some ugly ass bag. This is where I had my rain jacket. You have a space here for your water bladder. Very good. I recommend bringing a water bladder because you don't have to stop and take off your bag to get your bottle out or ask someone to get your bottle for you whenever you want to have a sip. If you know how to ration your water, then a water bladder will be fine. These pockets, you can reach them with your bag on. So in my one, I had snacks in one packet, and then I did have my flip-flops and towel in the other because I didn't have space in my bag, but I ended up using this as actually my second bottle holder because they did give us extra 2-litre bottles when the weather was like 29 degrees. Next are these small little pouches here. This is great for chewing gum or mints maybe, you know, small snacks that you know that they're going to be here. In here I had my lip balm and my sun cream stick, so that was easy to get out. You know, like these pockets are going to be easily accessible, so things that you want on hand. Next up here you have 2 pockets. So this is where I kept my glasses because I can't see far away and I knew that I wanted to see the views. And this big pocket here is where I kept my waterproofs, my first aid kit, just rain covers basically, because it's so easy to just pull out. Well, some people put it in their bag, but I just had it here so it wasn't taking up space in my bag. It's also really important how you wear your bag, because I thought I was doing it right and then I ended up with these. Okay, so I'm jumping on a voiceover to show you how to wear your bag. So this is how you undo your straps, because actually a lot of people didn't know how you undo your freaking straps, but this is how you just pull it out like that. And then this is how you should not wear your bag. This is how I thought it was. I thought you put it on your hips, right? No, that's not how you wear it, because if you put it on your hips, you're gonna get bruises, it's gonna be uncomfortable, and all the weight is on your like legs or whatever. So don't do that. Let me show you. Bend over, put it up and tighten it, right? Clip it in so it's basically around your stomach, but it's over your hips. As you can see here, it's over your hips. This will stop the bruising because you want the weight to be like above your hips, and you can see it's quite high up, right? The bag is high up against my head, right? This is how you should look. This is not how it should look. It should not look like that. My only recommendation to help with that would be to put bandages or plasters on your hips. Well, the moment you're like, ow, that really hurts, put Compeed on it, put blister patches on it, anything to protect them, because I left it too late. I put the Compeed on it after the bruise had formed, and by then my bag had already ripped skin, so my hip had an open wound. This is a small one as well, just quickly to talk about sleeping bags. Basically what I'm going to say is you do not need to bring a sleeping bag that is half your body size. This is my sleeping bag. This is it compared to my head, you know. It's quite small. Here's the info if you randomly wanted to know. I would recommend having a small sleeping bag that you know how to easily roll up. Okay, this section is about the hike itself, so actually hiking. These are just some tips I have for hiking as an experienced hiker. The first one is to pace your breaks. Like, I know every assessor says it, they're like, oh, try and not have that many breaks, but it is kind of true. Like, breaks go by really fast. You might think you've just had a 5-minute break, but it's probably been 15 minutes. So you do want to pace yourself. Have a group discussion, you know, just ask yourselves really quickly, like, how do we all feel about carrying on? Can we just push it, you know, another kilometer on the map? Or how about we get to this end of the road and then we'll take a break, kind of thing. Don't have unnecessary breaks if you seriously don't need them. That's my advice. Secondly as well, watch where you walk, because it can be dangerous. Like, if you're not paying attention and if you're not observant on like where you're actually walking, you could miss a baby head, you could put your foot in a random hole. Like, sometimes you can't see because of the grass. Where you can, it's very important that you watch where you walk, because also it will make hiking easier for you. If you can visibly see there's going to be a bit of like shifty terrain, okay, well, I'll just stand on all the higher points, and it's less walking instead of just, you know, aimlessly plodding along, just treading anywhere, and then you just kind of stumble around. You know, watch where you walk, it will help you. Thirdly, a tip that I learned from an assessor on my expedition was that when you're walking up an incline, it's best to just go slow. You'd rather walk really, really slowly and just go like, you know, inch like a baby, like one step at a time, instead of trying to like sprint up this hill, be out of breath, be horrible, feeling like sweaty, and you know, you just feel rough. And plus, you might be able to sprint up, but the person behind you might not, and then you have to wait for them at the top. And that's another thing, is you are only as fast as your slowest member. If you have a member who is slower, it's better to keep them at the front and let them set the pace, because not only will it make them feel better about themselves, I'll explain that in a minute, but also you don't want to sprint ahead, wait for this person to catch up, and then when you're ready to go again, they've just got there. They need to have their break. It's not fair on them for you to just keep going ahead and then they keep doing. I mean, I'm saying this definitely happened on my trip, and I'm also guilty of being the person who walked ahead, but just an advice to keep in mind. Okay, my last piece of advice on the hiking bit is kind of freaky. It's to really engage your muscles when you're walking. And what I mean by that is, like, as I said before, like, don't just aimlessly walk. Like, when you're walking, like, feel your body, like, live in your actual body. You know, if you're going downhill, bend your knees, feel your leg muscles engaging as you walk. If you're going up, straighten your back, you know, keep a straight back because you're holding that bag. Like, you need to remember that you are actually a body. You are just a skeleton with muscles on it, and you have to feel your body as a machine and take care of it, but also engage all of your muscles when you're walking, because then you build a little bit of muscle in the right places, and also you're just less likely to injure yourself. You know, if you're trying to get up and you just like, chuck yourself up, you could pull your back, you could injure yourself. And you don't want to be injuring yourself unless you seriously don't want to do Duke of Edinburgh and you just want to have a reason to quit. I do advise engaging all of your muscles when you're walking, because you're going to be safer, build muscle, and also it's just the right way. Your mind and your body will connect, and it will make walking a lot easier if you really feel your actual body. Okay, this section is going to be about your mindset. And it sounds corny, but this is really important. I had members who had a weak mind and they quit. I think Duke of Edinburgh, even though it is hard, it is doable if you believe in yourself. If you go into it and you're just blaming yourself, you know, like, oh, I'm at the back, I'm the slowest member, I'm slowing the group down, I'm not very good, I'm quite useless, I can't do this is really difficult for me, it's too hard, then it is going to be hard. Because if you're constantly beating yourself up about not being the best or not doing the best in the group, you're just going to make yourself feel worse. One of the most important things for me as well that happened during the trip was you have to remind yourself, you know, you can do it. You are going to make it. You just have to keep retelling yourself all these positive affirmations, and then you trick your brain into thinking, you know, okay, you know, I can do it. It is hard, but I can do it. And then you do it. And then you do it. And the thing I was talking about before as well is it's very important to be kind to yourself, but also to be kind to others. And I know everyone knows this, but you kind of forget when you're on Duke of Edinburgh, because you're all suffering. You're all suffering. Some people might show it more than others. That's the other thing. Someone might look really, really put together, but inside they could be internally suffering. Be kind to everyone, because you're all in the same boat. You know, you're all in the same boat. You're all experiencing this thing together. So picking on one person, I'm guilty of it, singling one person out because they're being really annoying and they won't stop talking. Yes, it is easy to snap at people, but you're just going to feel guilty afterwards, like I did. And also, making other people feel worse will make you feel better, like, in the moment, and then instantly you'll be like, oh, like, that wasn't very nice of me. But also in that same aspect, all I can say is you need to respect people, give them their space, be kind to everyone, and all you can do is be supportive of each other if people are suffering. Listen to people, ask them if they're feeling okay, and then if they're not. A thing that really helped me during both my practice and my qualifying, you leave your camp at 7 a.m. You know, you're packed up by 7, you've left. It's like 9 a.m. You've already been through a 6-hour day in your brain, you know, you're very tired, but you're only 3 hours in. The thing that helped me was thinking in my head like, okay, well, I know for a fact, right? Fact over feeling. I know for a fact, even though I feel really bad right now and I'm really tired and I want to go home, I know for a fact that I'm going to be at camp in 4 hours. You know, I know for a fact that by 3 p.m. I'll be very close to camp, or I'll be at camp. Whatever time it is now, I know for a fact that by 6 p.m. I'm going to be at my campsite with everyone else. So you just have to remember, you know, you're not going to be stuck there forever, but kind of reminding yourself like it's okay to feel the way that you are feeling, but you just remember that it's going to be okay. It's all going to be okay. The reason I emphasize this so much is because you only have your brain, you know, it's just you and your brain can be your worst enemy or it can be your savior. Honestly, just having a positive mindset is very important. And you may think I'm sounding corny now, but you know, this will come back when you're on your expedition and you're on those hills and you'll be like, oh, I want to go home. I'm going to come back in your brain and be like, positive mindset, positive mindset. Also, lastly, about your group, as I said before, you know how everyone's suffering, everyone's struggling on themselves. Another good thing to, you know, gain social points is to just help where you can. Help where you can. Don't force yourself to help if you are struggling as well. It's okay to take a break and just tell people, hey, you know, I will come and help you build that tent, but I actually just need like 5 minutes to just have a moment. That's okay. But you need to verbalize with people because they can't read your mind. I had a member who got their period, sad, but I could imagine how annoying it would be to hike and then camp while on your period, right? Without asking, I just made the tent for us because it's little things like that which will matter to other people. What's that? You guys are hungry? Okay, I'll just get some water for the Trangia. Small stuff like that. It will matter. It will help. And it will really keep you as a group. It will keep you sane. And it will keep you feeling a little bit more afloat if you all just help each other out. You could be lazy and just not do anything, but people will side-eye you in their head. People will side-eye you if you don't do anything, is what I'm trying to say. So lastly, I just wanted to say good luck if you're going to do your Duke of Edinburgh. I believe in you. I know you can do it. Secondly, have fun. Take in the views while you're there. Enjoy the experience. Duke of Edinburgh is what you make it to be. If you're thinking like, oh, I have to go and do this freaking hike, you know, okay, that's fine. But if you look at it and you're like, you know, like, ooh, I get to go on a hike, then you're going to enjoy it. And I think everyone has the potential to do it, and I think you're all going to do great. Have fun. Remember that you're strong and you can do it. And yeah, that's what I would say. So I hope you found these tips helpful. Maybe you already knew all of this. If you did, that's cool. If you don't, then I hope this was helpful and I hope that you remember some of it. But yeah, thank you for watching and goodbye.